Hey there, this is Ragnon, and this is my guide for Plexus Sentinel on Mythic difficulty for Resto Druid from a Resto POV. So, starting off, you want to assign soak groups. We had the healers always in the first soak. My ramp was assigned right off the bat, so you want to be ramping up beforehand if you have that same cooldown. So, throughout the fight, these little tiny circles you see, those are very, very dangerous, especially with this low of gear. So, you want to make sure that you're watching your feet very carefully, maybe standing slightly outside of the group if needed. For our strat, we ran the circles out always to the left, and you want to make sure that you're not overlapping people as you drop it, and drop it as tight against the wall as you can. Whenever there's these walls, you want to go ahead and use your cloak to jump out. Um, Periodically, there are tank kind of glyph explosion mechanics that the tank will run out. You want to make sure, so you can see here, I'm dropping it on the wall. I like to go bear form or use bark skin leading into that. I guess I didn't there, but the tank is going to run out a bomb. You can see Breezy running it out there, and watch the damage that this does. It's very big, so you want to make sure that you are tight with the group. It does very heavy fall off damage, so stick in tight. For this, I roar as we get knocked back, that we can fight the push. We stay here and fight these adds. They need to be gripped together and cleaved down. And then here we're moving together as a group. There is cloak mechanic you want to dash through, and then you want to get tight in front of the boss and dodge these beams, but keep the raids stacked as much as possible to stay in stuff like F-Low and Healing Rain and all that good stuff, because this actually does a lot of damage and people are moving a lot to dodge this stuff. So here it's a burn phase. You want to pop his shield, watching your feet for those small circles as you go. You can pop defensives towards the end of this if you need to. A decent place for like a health stone. All right, so here we stack up again in front of the boss, and it's all just rinse and repeat. So these circles get run out to the side. We're going to have a tank mechanic soon. He runs it out. Against a big explosion of damage, you want to make sure you're stacked in tight with the group and watching your feet for these very dangerous white circles. For the soak, you can see here, you see the green weak aura up here at the top? For our group, we were assigned to soak first, so you have until it hits right here to soak. So this is where group one gets hit. You get knocked out. If you're fast, for example, our raid leader iced out. He was blinking back in and taking the second soak. If you can, it's a good idea to soak too. It's a good amount of damage, but that's usually where healing cooldowns are assigned, so you should be fine. And it helps prevent a raid wipe if you can get back in. But you can see here, I don't. I get knocked out, and I'm convoking for my ramp and stuff. If you're assigned second, then you stay out and then you step in after the first knock. You can see here, they're not stepping inside. These are actually a very bad stun. If you step inside, it's a lot of damage. Don't touch those at all. So here's the tank explosion again. While we're gating through with our cloak, it actually, I think, negates or at least reduces the damage from the tank explosion if you use your cloak, which it should line up nicely with that tank explosion. More of the same, running this over. Like going bear, it's also a decent spot for frenzied regeneration. Here's the tank explosion again. He goes through on this one, so it does less damage. I believe he's using bubble to do that. Here's the soak again. I'm in part of the first group. You can see people stepping in to get the second one. Here's the knockback again. Should be roaring. I don't think I actually did, but I should be roaring to help people fight that push so they can get in position to do the ads and stuff. So here we're just killing the ads. Then going through. This one's a little tight, so we go around the outside. There's a wall coming up in a second here, so you use your cloak extra action button to go through. And rinse and repeat, stacking in front of the boss. Really focusing on heals. I think I used my convoke a bit early here. I kind of went off script because the raid was looking pretty rough, and I thought I could fit another one in there. Yeah, so we're just dodging the circles, dodging these beams, healing up, using defensives as the shield is about to break, because right here the damage keeps ramping up until either the shield is broken or you're dead. So here we're returning to stacking in front of the boss. Again, dodging the small circles, moving the big circles out to the left. Tank is going to run out his bomb in a second here. We want to make sure that we're stacked in with the group, but not getting hit by any small circles because you will just die. Guess there wasn't any. Here's the soaks again. Again, if not enough people soak that, then it's a wipe. So if you can blink back in or something like that, that might be a good idea to help prevent a wipe. Again, using defensives for that. It doesn't hurt so much on the drop compared to the other damage in this fight. But Bear, you can just use it whenever you want. So I honestly dropped the 1 minute roar talent and instead brought the Ursoc's Bear talent that gives you extra health and armor. And I used that in Frenzied Regeneration for each of the wall drops. Okay, tank one. This last one, it seems like that's the one that he was always running through. And maybe it's because it lines up with bubble cooldown. I believe that's why. You can also, if you're a monk, you can cloak through and then transcendence back. That's another way you could manage that. Okay, and here's another knock. And this one you save your roar because it's such a far knockback. You want to get back here to the door because we have to kill these ads anyways. So we need it for the actual run. This one also has this third one here also has a weird thing with the cloak. So what you do is you stack right here and you wait. You actually don't keep going because it's a dead end on the right. You don't want to do that. So you wait for this wall and then you use your cloak through and then you hook around to the outside wall. So I messed up. I fixed it because I was cat and I could go fast, but it's weird. So let me back that up because that's pretty important. So right here, you're going to cloak as the wall's coming. And then you want to go around left, not like I did, just immediately go around to the left. Because it's a super dead end. You can't really see it because it's a little further up, but that's tricky movement. You want to have that prepped in advance. Okay, more of the same here. We're just standing, dodging the small white circles, dodging the beams, burning the shield, popping. Didn't see any white circles. I'm just paranoid. They hurt really bad here in these early weeks. Yeah, it's just rinse and repeat. Last one comes the tank bomb. He's running it out to the back corner. Stacking in with the group. The further back you are, like if you're right here where these minions are, you'll take much more damage. Stack in, make sure you're healthy. Oh, something that I also forgot to mention is all of these soaks, you want to make sure that you are on the right or back side. If you get knocked to the left, I need to find it. I had a clip where it was a series of unfortunate events. I got knocked into a stun and then I got pushed into another stun and it was like 3 or 4 stuns back to back and I have no clue how I survived, but it was just a mess. So always stand to the right side or the back side of the soaks so that way you get knocked in a safe direction away from those stun circles. And here I'm just sending cooldowns, trying to fit some more in before the fight ends. Here's the soak. And that's it. So that's my brief little walkthrough on Plexus Sentinel. Again, this is from a healer POV, so if I missed some stuff from a DPS or tank perspective, I apologize. But that's what knowledge that I was able to kill the boss with. So good luck with progressing this boss. It's a banger of a first boss. Lots to heal, lots of movement. It's fun. I enjoyed it. So see you in the next one.